In this video, I'm going to be going over every single thing you need to know about special purpose acquisition companies, also referred to as SPACs. Basically, I'm going to be going over from the most beginner level possible all the way to the most advanced level possible by my last video. Like I just shared with you guys, this is going to be a whole series of videos because there's no way I could just fit this all into one condensed video because there's so much info I have to go over. So yeah, just be sure to subscribe, leave a like below, and we can get this video started. Before we begin this video though, I would like to give a shout out to anyone who held AMC this week. We're up almost 15% and we closed at roughly $50.16. So yeah, congratulations to you if you held and went through all the rough moments that we had this week. But yeah, now that that's out of the way, let's just cue that intro and we can get this video started.
Hey, how you doing, baby? You look mighty fine, I figured I might come your way.
So, what is a SPAC? A SPAC, or Special Purpose Acquisition Company, is pretty much a company that was made to acquire another company so that way they can become publicly traded in the stock market. For example, let's take Tesla. They weren't always part of the stock market, so they had to do something to become part of the stock market. So what they ended up doing was filing for an IPO. An IPO is more of a direct route that most bigger companies tend to use whenever they enter the stock market, like Starbucks, Apple, and as we saw recently back in March, Roblox. But there is a second option that these companies have, and this is going through a SPAC or reverse merger. Most of the time, as I said earlier, most companies will go through an IPO, but there are some reasons in which a company might want to go through a SPAC or reverse merger. I'll go over this detail in another video, but for now, just establish the difference between these two, and let's move on. The SPAC itself needs money in order for it to actually take out a company and put it publicly traded in the stock market. And the only way that this can be done is to find sponsors, and usually these sponsors are typically very wealthy people or institutions. However, whenever an institution is putting their money inside of a SPAC, they don't really know which company the SPAC is going to end up merging with. So you guys might consider it to be blindly putting your money into something. But as we saw recently over the past few years, putting your money into a SPAC is pretty much just ensuring that you're going to be profitable at the end of the game, as long as the management is fairly decent. After a SPAC is fully sponsored, they're allowed to shoot the price up to $10 a share, or in most cases $10 a share. There are some SPACs that are $20 a share, but generally most of the time you will see them at $10 a share. And this is mainly because after all the institutions put all their money into the SPAC, they then just pretty much buy out the SPAC until it shoots up to $10 a share. And this is because of an agreement between the institutions and the SPAC itself. And that's why most of the time, whenever people are talking about SPACs, they always usually say that the floor of a SPAC is $10 a share. Now, there is something else that plays into this equation as well, and this is called the NAV, or net asset value. And this is pretty much that the trust that an institution has with its SPAC to allow the price to go just a bit higher than $10 a share. But I'll go over that in a future video. For now, just know that the floor of a SPAC is usually almost always $10 a share. Once the trust bearings are all squared and everything, they can actually move the SPAC into the market for people to put their money into and buy common shares and warrants. But basically, once the SPAC is inside the market, it usually floats around the range of $9.80. And this is really just because it's under the radar and not a lot of people have heard about the company that they plan to merge with. So yeah, there's like almost 500 of these floating around the market. And yeah, it really just creates an opportunity to be very profitable if you know how to play these companies right. With that being said, that concludes the video for part 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Next week, we will be releasing part 2 for this video. And part 2 will mainly focus on the strategies that you can use to be the most profitable whenever you're playing SPAC companies. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. Leave a like if you haven't. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace. Yeah. Peace.
You've got to start at the bottom if you're ever gonna